Good evening, my name is Marcus Myers and I will be the host for this show. This is a Nuit D'Amore sit-down. Nuit D'Amore is a concert that happens annually, and I think this is our second year, correct? Yeah. Second year, and I'm here with the organizer right now, Mr. J. Miles, who is also one of the performers on this year's card. So we're gonna talk about all that stuff, right?
Yes.
First of all, we gotta talk about your name though. That name is a funny thing. Talk to me.
Actually,
where you get your name from?
Okay, so the name is Love Night in French, and the way D'Amore is spelled the Italian way, right? So it's French and Italian.
Did I butcher that just now, the pronunciation?
Actually, no. He was pretty good.
Say it properly.
Nuit D'Amore.
Nuit
D'Amore. Yes.
I thought it was not Damers. I thought it was not Damers for like so long.
But I realized last year you didn't call the name. When you was on stage.
Nah.
But
welcome to the show. That's what you was saying last year. Exactly. Right.
So the name came. Actually, I was speaking to someone about the idea of the show, and I was telling her what I want to call the show. So I was like, Love Night. But she wasn't really interested in being a part of the show, as in starting up this show or whatever the case may be. So she was a bit edgy and she was like, Love Night, not even the name. That ain't sound good.
Right.
You know?
It sounded a bit mundane, like, you know.
But she was right, actually, right? So she was like, who will go to the show named Love Night, right? But the way she was saying it still, you could tell like she was being a little extra about it. But so there and then, like, I was so into this Love Night, calling it a Love Night, that I was like, I'm not changing this name, but let me try to change it in terms of the language that Love Night is spelled or called. So I went obviously on Google and Google Translate and trying to find the different translations of Love Night, and yeah, French and Italian, and the French way for D'Amore is O-U-R at the end. Right, but the Italian way is O-R-E, and based on marketing and my thing for marketing, I had a decision to make, as in which looks more marketable, right? And to me, the O-R-E is more marketable. However, the O-U-R is our, which could be a nice vibe for the Love Night kind of thing. But when it would have been an extra meaning, definitely. But in terms of the O-R-E, like looking at it, I was just like, I just like the O-R-E. But
like, you chose a different language just because I know that, to me, when it comes to like sonically, some languages and the way that they pronounce words is a lot more romantic than others. So like the way that we say things in English compared to how the French just bring across certain things, right? So I think that was an interesting choice. But what I want to ask you is, that's not the only thing that makes this show unique compared to other shows.
Of course not.
So let's get into that. Okay. What differentiates it from the usual concert show?
All local talents. There are shows that has all local talents, but Nuit D'Amore focuses entirely on that, and this is why I call it a show and not a concert, because a concert is more of singing performances. For Nuit D'Amore, the plan is to have a show where you can get dancing, comedians, poets, because last year we had spoken word. You did spoken word yourself.
I was. Whenever you think about it too. Yeah. It was good. Cool. Yeah, it was good though. It was good. I enjoyed it, especially the crowd, like the audience. But yes, we would get into that.
For a show, that was a really nice crowd. But right, so and also to the bands, we have some activated bands. These bands like to sound, right? So with the experience, I've never seen it in action in a show or concert as yet, right? But like when you're in your room, you can use the band even after the show, right? So you can actually use your ticket for however long after the show. And like if you're in your room, your lights off at night and you have whatever playing, the lights go in sync with the music. And so in that sense, I know it's a really great buy. In terms of the show though, with live performances, live band, and then especially big sound system, I really excited to see how the bands will work, how the bands with playing can be in sync with the band and everything. So that is definitely innovative twist to shows here in Barbados.
What do you think it was so important that everything had to be like, as you said, like fully Bajan?
Because our market needs help, and it needs help fast. Big respects to the promoters who bring in the foreign artists, but we need money here as well too. And these artists get quite a amount of money, and then they go back and they spend the money in the countries, right? Our respects to them is their money if they perform, and they're I wouldn't be able to see, which I think is my favorite performance, the best performance I've ever saw, Barry Salmon. Then you have Sitdown and Chronix. These are artists, without these promoters, I wouldn't have been inspired to even have a show or be an artist. But however, we need attention here for ourselves too. So it's like you bring people from other places, fill in the pockets, and then they're going back. How about invest in what's going on here?
But let me see if I could push back and ask you. Not having those people as an option, you know, the big international artists that are from over and beyond, right? Performing at the show, doesn't that limit you to Barbados only?
I would not use the word limit, because I think there's a wide range of talents on this island. Call a genre. There's an artist who is professional enough to either headline or become a part of a show. So I wouldn't say a limit, but I get what you're saying. Yeah,
because I mean, like there is a pool here in Barbados, but I mean, if you expand now to other countries, now you got the world at your fingertips, right? I mean, well, whatever your budget allows, right?
Yeah.
Anybody from other countries that doing certain things, you know. So I think that, I wonder if that is what the promoters try to do, that they try to give the audience a chance to see something they don't see every day, right? Which would be somebody that would not be Bajan, something like that.
Which is needed, which is great. However, I think this should be all local, right? These artists, as I said, these artists, it's great to have them in. Buju is coming soon. That would be big. But as I say, it's a show as well too. So in any case, in inverted commas, I ran out of artists. It's a show. You can bring comedians. Got one or two names at the top of my head that are really one just hold the show himself. Then we have actors. The film industry is one industry that is starting to do good things. So we can have some acting, although it wouldn't be. It can be recorded too, which can be sold after the show. But definitely stage acting and stuff like that, where I have as an option. Dancing. So I don't think at any point I would run out of options where I would feel limited necessarily. I do have a plan to create another entertainment brand where I would bring foreign artists. But for now, I just keep it local, especially with Nuit D'Amore. Right?
Wait. And this is one that just hit me. The question just hit me, right?
No problem.
So what's the difference between this and like Nifka Gala?
You see, I try not to compare. You see, I stay away from questions like that. Another question that I get asked a lot, especially the intended location being Lauderdale and Sandyford, is Mahalia's Corner.
Right.
I am not. I try not to comment on other shows because people, almost any way you say it, a person can twist it.
Okay.
Right? And especially I've seen it before where I started to talk and I get the kind of responses like, so no, and then like okay, I see what I gotta do. I gotta leave this out.
Yeah.
Me myself, I go to my head this kind of. I love this show. Right? But I wouldn't answer any question in terms of comparing. Or not even comparing, but just speaking about another show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, staying on this show, how hard was it to put together the show? Because it's basically just you, right? Your team is how many people?
The first show was just me. This time, I have Erica Hinkson on board. She's marketing. She's dealing with the marketing.
But let's talk about last year. Last year, you putting it on by yourself, and then on top of that, performing. How difficult was it to bring together everything?
2 more hours, I probably would have fainted. It was rough. I was small. Like, if you saw the pictures of me, like looking back, I was getting so small. It was crazy. And as a first show too, you're learning and doing it at the same time, and it was difficult. And then you gotta get in your rehearsals as well. You gotta do your running around, and then you gotta stop. But yeah, people, events and every little thing, just to show a face. So it was, man, as I said, almost literally 2 more hours, and I think it would have been like crash out.
But did your hard work pay off though, or was it one of those ones where it still has to be a slow build as the years go by for it to be what people would say like lucrative?
I guess is a time now, to be honest. The show was a success. People didn't even want to leave, right? It was great, and people even left saying it's sponsors, which I was really happy to hear. Even sponsors saying that certain artists that perform should have opportunities overseas and probably be signed and stuff like that, which was great. However, with the budget that I was on, I wouldn't say my costs were too high, but financially it was a little.
It was a strain.
Challenging.
Yeah.
But those things happen, especially with first shows, and I had me. That's what I had. So this year, different things. You get to plan now. You learn from your mistakes. You make harsh decisions as well too. And one of the decisions, as people will see, February 3rd is the date on the poster, but I'll have a change of date. I don't know exactly the date as yet, I don't want to speak too much on the change of date, but there will be a change of date, which will be a pushback. Financially, again, this decision, I was thinking about changing the date because of all right, let me just put it this way. We had a verbal, I got a verbal quote on the something dealing with the show. I prefer to leave it. And then when I got the actual quote in the email now, it was saying client is I saying will probably say what it is, but client should provide this, client is expected to provide this, client is expected to provide this. So although the main price or cost of the venue said it right, although the quote was the same as was discussed previously verbally, all of these extra things that client need to provide because it's outdoors. I had to cover things like cost gap and all those stuff on my own because it's outdoors and not inside Lavish. Right. So I will definitely need more time because what happened last year will not happen again. Last year
you did it at the school, right? So why didn't you go back there again?
Because I see, let me say, people came through the back door that I didn't know one idea was coming.
When you say come through the back door, you mean metaphorically or I mean literally? Literally. Oh, so
because the security is and I would try not to speak too long about this, but the security is on contract with the same event, so the security knows the event, the venue. Sorry, and actually the person that I saw, I know, and they have a relation with someone pertaining to the venue, which I wouldn't have any problem with coming. But other people too came to me, giving concerns about stuff in terms of the bathrooms and stuff. I try not to say too much. You
just want to.
Kian is seems like a really good person. Okay. But business is not dealing with the person. Business is dealing with business, and I just decided. And also too, I think I spent more time directing people and telling people where the event is, more than I told them about the event. or did my planning for the show, and it was frustrating too. And even I was on stage, and as soon as I come off, like, I got a phone call, where to park. I was like, are you crazy? That was crazy. I tried to focus on the show, and it was and plus too, the location for Lavish and Sanford is pretty cool. I would have the event at another location, but not this event. I mean, in times to come. But
which one you have in mind?
A ballpark. But the location is pretty hard to get to.
You mean that's by
the Old Ocean Park?
Yeah. You like that location?
Yeah, I do, and it has a tent, and I would assume that cost cap and all of those stuff is handled. So I just, as like Blackwoods, all I did was pay the money, and I was clear. All those things, liquor license and all those things were handled. This time around, I gotta do all those things, and those are the extra costs that I was speaking about. That would sending my costs and sending it over my budget. So right, but in terms of the ballpark, I would have the event there. However, transportation, so I would probably have probably minibuses or taxis leaving from a location like probably Lavish, Kingsandiford or Sky Mall or maybe Sheraton or maybe Islands, whatever the case may be, which would then carry people to the show who can't get to the show by their own transportation. But that's because I want to make it easy for even the persons that don't have their own transportation. That's why I'm finishing the event at 11 o'clock, right? Because it will give time for people to actually get home, get the last buses that going up, or even if they need to get home pretty quickly to get the last bus home.
Right, you have a passion for the arts, so you talk about the artists. I realized that a lot of the artists that you used last year, I am not seeing on the card this year. And I don't know if I didn't think if my first instinct wasn't a bad mind thing, but I was just wondering why you transitioned from, because I know that usually when you build a relationship with certain artists, you kind of keep them, right? Why did you choose to go a different direction?
First of all, diversity. I would try as much as possible to keep rotating the artists. The relationship comes after 5, 6, 7 years of the show, where you would have seen the artist probably once or twice, and not like 3 times in a row or something like that. The same thing with the big events. You don't see Chronics coming 2 years back to back.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you got regulars though, like whether it's Tumel Hill or somebody. There won't be the features, but it'll be somebody to get the show warm and get everybody, you know, on the feet and stuff, moving and everything.
The only main face that I think should be seen again is yours.
Okay.
The host, yeah, the host I think should be consistent.
Right.
And it builds, I guess, I don't know, for lack of term, it builds character for the show itself. And then like last year, I guess you were just what we would call it, killing time, but you started to speak about silent keys technology.
Yeah, me and the audience.
When the guy tried to leave, you know, right. So things like that, you can come back to Nuit D'Amore 2019 and find out what really happened to that guy, and if you actually found keys with silent technology. No. So the host is the only face I could see to definitely be there again. 1 or 2 concerns with persons, though not all, is promoting the show. I am the promoter, the events coordinator. It's my job to promote the show. However, a show for the first time, and I'm putting names that people really don't know, including myself. When I put in names on a poster, I'm basically putting myself out there, right? In terms of me, like financially and stuff, because I'm investing in this, and I don't have names that would pull a crowd solely. Like, no names were on the poster that people would definitely say, oh, they're there, I coming, right? So when I put your name on a poster and nobody know your name, I would expect for you to try to get your friends or your family, or you put it up on Instagram. I had to beg artists, do a little quick promo video saying that you can be at your show, so I could post that and you could post that. Put up the poster, no man. I don't feel like I should have to do that, because I'm trying to help the same artist.
Yeah, I can try and see if I can put myself in the artist's shoes, right? Maybe the artists feel like it ain't their job to do the heavy lifting in terms of marketing. That it ain't necessarily their job to sell to sell the tickets. I mean, they have a job to perform on the night and move. What you would say to any artist that thinks that way?
They have a right to think that way, because they're an artist. However, when no one knows you and you're paid to perform, the money that you're being paid has to come from somewhere. Although I would say again, it's my job to sell tickets, it's my job to do marketing. Well, last year at the end of the day, it's a small show, it's a first show, and everybody needs to come together because it's a collective effort. It's not me, my show, you figure out, you but me, whatever the case may be. So, as I said, I have a right to say it, something like, you know, I'm paid to perform, and that's what I'm gonna do.
But you know, I can strengthen your point though, and the fact that, I mean, although it is a first show and thing, but at the same time, they can't be moving the way that big artists move. At the end of the day, they should always be thinking about the fact that they are hustling and on the come up. Until you have your own team of somebody that would do your own marketing, somebody that is your assistant, somebody that would, you know, even somebody that could choose your clothes, what you call them, the fashion, the people, you know, until you have your own team of people, you gotta hustle and you gotta put in your own thing. I mean, it isn't what exactly you would like to do, but you always gotta be in that mindset as an artist coming up in Barbados, that you gotta push even the show that you're going to, that you, even though you're getting paid for it, right? Right. So yeah, I kind of get what you're saying.
Not across you, but it's
right.
it shows the personality and character of the artist, right? Not only the skill. And
who are you more drawn to work with? Somebody that's talented or somebody with personality?
Both.
So both, but not all artists got both though.
That's why. Example, Sonny Maraki. He's talented and his personality is great. Like he posts the show. He's trying to get people. Like even recently, like, cause I gave him 2 bands, right? And said, you know, if anybody wants whatever the case may be. And he was like, so he messaged me to ask basically like, what are the bands for? Is it for complimentary pass? Is it for me and who I'm inviting? And I said, no, y'all will get, you and another person definitely will get a pass, right? I don't have a problem with that. And he was like, okay, well, I'll give you money for the 2 bands. This is an artist that is being paid. Right. And basically, you know, an artist would say, okay, I'm being paid this. So if I give him money for this ticket, that means that I get him less. And he's not thinking about that. Even if it's not coming from his pocket, and art is coming from his pocket, regardless, like, that's dope. And those are the people who don't have an interest only in themselves as an artist and trying to get out there and get to perform on a show, but having an interest for the event and for the culture in Barbados.
Other than him, which other artists have you not worked with as yet that you would like to work with in the future? That you see has that personality, has the talent?
I would be able to answer that before, because I contacted an artist to perform, very talented, and I thought before I would really like to work with this artist, but their personality sucks. And you would say it's only business, you don't have to. Yes, that's true when you're dealing with like the big shows that I mentioned, where it doesn't really, who cares how Chronix is personally? You understand? Yeah. Come, perform, and leave. But as a show that's trying to build and we need as much hands on deck, then the attitude from that artist was atrocious.
I can ask a question.
I'm not gonna say the artist.
You can't say, don't say the artist.
Okay,
I wanna know, it was a man or a woman?
Male.
Male?
Yeah.
What was the kind of vibe he was coming with? What he was saying?
Basically, long and short, I wanted to eventually tell the artists to just have their own show and perform at their own show. They were telling me how to run my show. Okay. And it wasn't suggestions, it wasn't constructive criticism. They were just trying to be the events manager. And then I asked, so wait, the second set, can you perform all original tracks? And the artist was like, I can, but I was like, what? How you mean? Because the second set, there's 2 sets for each artist. The second set especially is all original music, because that's the whole point of the show, to build our industry and our market. So we need to hear original music. So basically he wants to throw whatever song he wants to throw in his original set. Hey, why? Yeah. Right? And things like, to be honest, let me be honest with you, that doesn't make any sense. And I was just like, okay, I agree with you. I was done with that. So going back on the question, in terms of who artists that I would love to work with, I really don't want to call names and then they just turn around to be
the same way.
Yeah, right. And then because it's like, because then I would probably want like go back to this video and delete it out the earth.
Because I asked you for the details because I would really like that some of the artists change their approach to talking to people. And I see that with a lot of artists on the come up.
They're big before they're even big.
Yeah, they fool themselves into thinking that they're big enough that they could be talking. Well, I don't think you should be talking to anybody, so honestly.
Exactly.
But they got a lot of Bajan artists. I don't know Bajan artists that I speak to personally and things. That, I don't know, I guess the level of recognition they get and thing makes them think that they have the authority to then say, well, let me tell you how to run your event because it's your second year doing it, and I was performing along. So
this is what the artist said to me. For my how much ever years of doing set lists, my word.
Yeah.
So you just hit the nail on the head.
So I think they need to now come with an open mind and be like, you never did this before, but here's what I propose to you. What I would like from you as the event manager is ABC. Can you do ABC?
And if you can't, that is understandable. But don't, you know, at first, even as I mentioned, Erica is the marketing manager, and at first when I proposed the bands to her, the sound activated bands, she said to me, that don't make any sense to me. Yeah. But it wasn't like, what kind of stupid idea that is, blah, blah, blah.
She didn't shoot it down, but she said it didn't sound like it made sense.
It's understandable.
Right.
When I showed her the bands, she was like, oh, this is so cool. Right. I was like, look at Sheila. But at the end of the day, she said what she thought probably wasn't best in terms of especially the cost of the bands, because the bands are not like the print out tickets, which is paper that's pretty cheap. The bands cost a lot of money, but they're marketing as well too. So when people carry it home after the event, they have it. And it have the name of the event engraved in it. So as I say, I'm not too thin on people saying it doesn't make any sense. I actually prefer someone to tell me it doesn't make any sense than to go on with something and then it doesn't make any sense actually at the end. However, it's just how you, as you say, how you speak to people or how you bring over yourself.
But I want to talk too about the before we talk to Erica, because I want to talk to Erica, but the support you got from corporate Barbados, how easy was it to get them on board? And if you could call out some of the names of the people some of the companies that really seem to be open to the whole show, even though it's only the second year.
Yeah, it's pretty, especially having a first show, it was pretty difficult. This second show is almost just as difficult. I would say one of the sponsors I've tried to contact again. Taking my number, no return of calls. Then I show up at the place and I asked to speak to the brand manager. And I stood up about for a half hour. And then someone came back down and said, she was looking around for her for a half hour, by the way. I was looking around for her. She's not in her office. I'm calling her, but I can't get through. leave your name and number, blah 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 blah. My thing is that people, well, companies, but obviously it's people behind the company, but companies try to associate themselves with big names or whatever the case may be. So for the sake of figures and the exposure that comes with it and stuff, but to me, I'm not asking for as much as the other, because I know how much shows like Barbados Music Awards were asking for sponsorship, and it's not near that, right? However, it's still, like, especially big companies prefer to support a big budget event rather than a smaller one for smaller returns, because they don't need to have any association with Nuit D'Amore.
So how do you overcome that though? Like, how do you get around that?
Being persistent, I guess. Being persistent. That's how I actually got the sponsor in the first place, right? But I got it, and then it's like, yeah. But quickly, let me just mention the sponsors. Lavish Beauty Services. They do pedicures, manicures, and stuff like that.
Last year.
Yes. And it's actually a good sign to see sponsors coming back. And that shows something about the show, you know, and the returns that the business saw from the show, that they decide to become a part of it and invest in the show again. Chefette is a part of the show again. Actually, Chefette, the Sakarta is pretty easy to reach, right, and she's pretty cool for a company like Chefette. I big up Chefette on that part, definitely. But everybody knows Chefette marketing is crazy. Yeah, regardless, and it just shows not only the material that is out there in terms of the marketing aspect, but also the relations that the manager has with persons who try to contact or whatever. That's really dope.
It is good to see Chefette really support arts though, because I saw them support other artists and other shows and stuff.
Shows as well. The show that I mentioned previously, Chefette, was a part of recently. Yeah. So Astral Media, who is a part of making this interview possible.
We get married there. Let's see
when I first contacted him about it, actually was through you, and we made it come true. Yeah, because we're here now.
I like you, man, because I know I like people that know the work well. Even if you tell him, we got 30 minutes to do this one thing, we ain't got this, we ain't got that, he will find a way to work around it that the body watching would not know that all this was going on in me. I like things like that, like them things. Right. And I had so many experiences with videographers and things that just difficult to work with, man. It's very difficult to work with. So, but anyway,
Astral is definitely a choice. It would be a start of my relationship with the company, and I'm looking forward to having some really nice work. Other sponsors are Bailey's. We have Mount Gay. Mount Gay was the sponsor last time, so we have Mount Gay again. So it's Lavish, Chefette, and Mount Gay that we have on board, which is great. Forgive me, I've got so much things to do with. That should be it.
That should be it for now? Okay.
Yeah, that is it actually. And Ati Photography Ati Collection, which are actually the title sponsor is Ati Collection, right? And they were the title sponsor, but it's my company, it's my business. So actually I was looking for a title sponsor for this show, but I didn't get any. Right. So I used my own business as the title sponsor because, like, it only makes sense.
Well, we can get into you in a minute as a performer, but let me talk to Erica quick.
Yes, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, so right now we have Miss Erica Hinkson, and you that is in charge of marketing for the show. So let's get into it, Erica. Tell me about how things have been so far in terms of marketing the whole show.
Well, so far there's been a great response. I find that persons are very excited about an all-local show, as Jelani would have mentioned. You don't get too many of those in Barbados these days. A lot of it, entertainment these days is these all-inclusive fetes. Of course, great. DJs, DJ entertainment, parties, international performers, all wonderful shows, but it's nice to see local talent and creatives coming through. Actually, when I mention the name now, some persons are saying, that's the show that's coming up right around Valentine's with local talent. And I say, yes, you know, you got some rappers in there, some vocalists, saxophonists, bands, and some that are a bit familiar and some that are new that persons are very excited to see and catch.
So this is your first year marketing this show?
Yes, this is my first year involved with this show.
Okay. And from what you see so far, would you say that people are mostly grabbing on to the fact that it is an all-Bajan show?
I believe so, yeah. There is already a niche market within Barbados that does follow anything that local persons are doing to see how we're really excelling in various fields within Barbados. So you already have that group of persons that are always present and behind each other. The art scene in Barbados, really, as you would call it. But I find that with new persons that are not as familiar that there was this much talent with all these different genres, I think that's created a whole new market right in there of excitement to see these things.
How do you then reach the people that aren't like die-hard followers of going out and seeing like performances and stuff? You just mentioned them, but then the other people that are just casual viewers of certain things, how do you get them attracted to the show?
Well, there is one thing that the majority of persons have in common in this world, and that would be music. It's the fact that music is available, and even with these bands, as Johnny would have said, it's sound activated bands. Yes, I wasn't at first a fan, but that was just from a cost perspective. That wasn't really, I didn't think they were cool as hell. But even with the promotional video we put out there, about 1,000 persons peeped that and said, whoa, this is really innovative, that you have music that's going on. So you're going to have this local music and the bands are lighting up, persons can jam out. A lot of persons are familiar with open air concept fetes and parties, as I said, so it's just like taking that into another sphere now. You're still outside partying, but you're rocking to the music that's available there, meeting some new persons, getting the music they would hear on the radio, but just as a live performance. That wasn't really too hard to market from that point of view.
What do you think the demographic is for Nuit D'Amore?
Well, the demographic, I would say, for an appreciation really would be persons about 18 and up. You have even persons in their 50s who are responding as well, because it's a nice little night. Everybody knows love. You have the young love, the teenage love, which is not to be devalued either. That's everybody wants to express themselves. And you have the older couples that have been around and are looking for something a little different. Persons usually might do a dinner, but this is something around that time as well for them to really express themselves with each other, and even outside of couples, friends to come and catch the show, because it's not just all focused on love. There's some comedy in there, there's some action, there's relatability for everyone.
Okay. And let's bring in JJ. Working with Erica on the marketing, do you kind of see the same thing that she's seeing, that, you know, that a lot of the casual persons that don't really go and watch a lot of shows and stuff are still interested in this one because it's about love, because it's about all Bajan talent?
Yeah, correct. As she said, love everyone can relate to. So you find that persons who usually, as she said, do dinner or accustomed going to the bigger shows, they have a reason now to be out during the love time. Obviously, that's why it's in February. So yeah, casually, because it goes back to the dress code. The dress code is not one that you need to, for lack of terms, break your pocket to try to go to. It's elegantly casual, semi-formal if you want to notch it up a bit. But yeah, it's just a night to just come out and enjoy some nice music. It's not too extra, it's not too fatty. Yeah, it's not too party, but yeah, everyone can.
I like the fact that one thing about you, Jay, is that, and I would say you too, Erica, is that you are an artist yourself. So when you are actually managing, you know, the whole event, that you are actually looking from an artist's eye and what artists deserve. The last time that we did the whole show together, the artists got paid, and that is something that I don't see that very often. What they would do is they would pay the people that, you know, are like big artists, and then the up and comers, they would give an open mic segment, and then they get paid with exposure, but it gets marketed as an open mic segment. Yeah, but they don't really think that them deserve the thing. So talk about that. Talk about being an artist and still being an event manager too.
Yes. Well, first of all, let me mention about being an artist, an entrepreneur, and an event manager. Whereas I have in mind and for the best interest of the artists, and also for the businesses for the sponsors basically. So my sponsorship proposals and stuff are very fair, right? Because me as a small business, I have sponsored already a football club, so I know what I want or what I would like out of sponsorship. So I tend to have a very fair proposal for small businesses in terms of sponsorship. In terms of, as you mentioned, artists, now I'm an artist myself, and I know I've been contacted many times on exposure. Exposure does not pay bills, right? And an artist's job is a pretty difficult job, and it's an expensive job, especially when you want to record music and go to the studio, do certain stuff. So I do see the value of artists, and as I had in my marketing for the first year, the artists are paid, so people would know why in the beginning I had tickets and why the price of the tickets were what they were. So just to recap, me as an entrepreneur, I have in my best interest for the businesses and what I propose to the businesses in terms of sponsorship, the recognition that they get, and also as an artist, I understand that it's a tough job and they deserve to be paid, and my best interest is out for the artists, and especially on the night itself, that everyone is safe, everyone is comfortable, and everyone enjoy the performance.
Yeah, I agree, and I feel that people do the best work when they know they're getting paid too. So like,
yeah, for sure. Not some don't even come.
Yeah, she's on. So yeah, yeah, boy. But you're always supporting artists, and I appreciate that. You're supporting artists right now. Talk about your shirt, man.
Yes, designer Mac MAK.GIOUS on Instagram.
I know that one.
Yes, he's pretty good actually. I first contacted him on Instagram, and as I say, as having a clothing brand myself too, I was pretty open with having attire from another designer. One, and two, the fairness of my proposal to him. It was great. He couldn't have lost. Yeah. Right. So big ups to him, as well as on IG MAK.GIOUS. He's pretty good. Yeah. He's dope.
Well,
I like it. It's pretty comfortable.
It looks comfortable. That's right.
It's one of these jackets that like you would get a hug for an extra second or two. When you get a hug, she will hold on a little longer.
That's when you go wear on your night. If it's a love night, they go wear on
flowers.
Exactly. If you want.
Yeah. Well, I really love the venture that you are doing, and the fact that it's such a focus on Bajan talent. And I would also want to say, you know, I don't know when the date gonna be for the show, but you gotta come on the radio show. You got a Pulse radio show that is on Hot 95.3. I want y'all to come on.
Plug.
Yeah, we gotta plug myself. Jeez, our brother here talking about winners for so long. Anyway, so yeah, so the Pulse Radio Show. When that starts back in 2019, I want y'all to come on and talk about it some more before the show starts. And keep doing what you're doing. And I really hope that the artists, any artists that listen to this, that are doing this show, understand the inner workings of putting it together, how the helping hand they could give can get them more money too. Right?
Exactly, so, because that's where I'm looking to go with the show. People, especially artists, what they do is just multiply the amount that I have for the tickets by how much probably I would have. So they multiply 150 by 45. Yeah. And boom, he's making money.
Yeah. That's not true. Before we go on,
revenue,
I want you.
Profit.
Before we go on, I want the two of you to list off the amount of things we're gonna pay for this whole thing to happen.
All right. All right. Venue. The band is a professional band. They back artists like Arthur Tappin and Alison Hines and stuff, even overseas in Canada. So
they need to be paid to,
to sue. Yeah. Right. But actually, the quote that they gave me, they were open to negotiation because of the age of the show. I would say, it being a 2-year-old show, so they work with me as well. But they're professional, so it's pretty costly.
The artist, of course. What the artist is not, but everybody. Actually, the artist, because I'm thinking everybody. By themselves. Yeah. Right. It's not the biggest of the largest of quotes that they give me, but everybody together, I would say yes. Yes, it adds up. Marketing as well. Yeah. With the band. She gotta get paid.
She has to be paid.
It's true.
Then we have what I wanted. This was actually a question that caught me off guard.
I guess in like things. There's got things that I don't
there's
even
other
think
costs
about.
that come up. Incidentals. Stage.
Yeah. Right.
Sound.
Right.
Lighting.
Right. All that there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All of that. And then you gotta pay the bar staff. You kinda got the soundman mixing board out in rain. So there's tents. You got a tent on stage.
Ushers, staff.
Backstage.
We're gonna pee.
Chemical toilets. I actually forgot this stuff.
Exactly, because you do that every day, you don't. But then you take
they add up.
And I don't realize, and I think you as an artist, you can have that knowledge moving forward, that you can let other artists know that when you performing at this show, this is all that's going to getting you to actually be here performing right now. You used to be on stage for 3 minutes, but the amount of things that is going on behind the scenes and stuff.
So security. I actually had a meeting last night with security, and security said, I understand your budget, but for the security of everyone in this place, we have to add 1 or 2 more.
You can't cut costs here on this.
Exactly, and I respected that because it's not that I was trying to be cheap, but he is very experienced in security and he knows what's best, because he was also thinking inside as well too. So when he actually saw the car park and they have little places, dark spots, he was like, you're gonna need more people, which I respect. And security of anyone inside my event or around my event is priority. So that's a big cost.
I honestly didn't even think about that one. I thought I had all them in my head.
Cost cap?
Yeah, cost. Yeah, I had to call this morning because they had rights for copy. They have something about copyrights and they want for related rights, and both was like $300, so that come up to like $700. Right. Which is okay, but not what I was expecting.
Right.
And then in the clause I need to provide a skit. As we mentioned before, the chemical toilets.
Whole set of things.
Liquor license.
Yeah.
Any stage designs.
It's a lot. So I'm glad that you're doing it, and I know that you're learning along the way. But the fact that you have the artists in there in mind too, that they get compensated financially, I appreciate that. I know a lot of artists out there appreciate it. So, but that said, any last words before we wrap up? From you, Erica?
Probably from her.
You've been talking for a while. I just think everyone should come out to Nuit D'Amore. It doesn't matter who you are. It's a vibe that will be there for everybody. You have the relaxing nature of it. It's outdoors. There's good music. You can bring a friend. You can come with family. You can come with your partner. Anyone, once you're feeling the vibe, there's a little something there for everyone, and it's a whole new experience for those who aren't familiar with the concept of local talent and what they really have to offer. So, experience for everybody.
Yeah.
Come out, support. The person that you support will end up coming to your business place, your small business, or just period. The money will be circulating around you, and that's a big part of it as well too. Come out, support. It will be a great event.
Fun.
Not want to miss the experience of the sound activated bands in action. Live professional band as well. As she mentioned before, it's not just DJs and stuff. You actually have a live show. So yeah, come out, enjoy, have a great time, bring your friends, bring your family. It is a clean show, Marcus.
But how clean is clean? I just said I was thinking 18. Because I know there's some jokes in there. It's some fun for it. You got to have some fun.
As soon as he's sponsored by Chefette, I say, yeah, clean. For sure. Clean.
Some fun there. Some hints.
Yeah,
some hints and innuendos in there.
Around there.
PG-13. So we could come out hot.
For sure. So, with that said, thanks for the sit down. I look forward to the show. Check out the social media pages. This will be the Nuit D'Amore Experience on Instagram.
Nuit D'Amore.experience. That's NUITDAMORE.experience. Those who can't spell experience, those who spelled my email address wrong, sent me your own stuff a million times. EXPERIENCE.
All right, cool.
I hope I spell it.
That man got distinctions in English.
This is the longest closeout ever. So without saying, thanks for the sit down, and we out.